Hey, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk. Today I'm having a chat with guitarist Jon Cribb from Chaosaint, Newcastle melodic groove metal band, who recently released their EP in the name of was June 19th. Cheers, man, for joining me.
No, thank you.
Cool, man. I was just saying before we jumped on, man, it's a beautiful fucking backdrop there, man. You don't need any flags or anything in the back with a view like that, dude.
Doesn't get much better, does it? This is, like I say, middle of winter. We've got some sunny days. You can nearly be down there sunbaking. It's beautiful.
Yeah, man. So for the uninitiated, man, can you just tell us a little bit, how would you describe the sound and who Chaosaint are?
Mate, I'll start with who we are. We're a band. We're a bunch of friends, basically, from we've known each other from primary school and high school, and been in and out of all sorts of different bands, and we sort of reconvened after a bit of a break. You know, everyone takes their separate ways after high school, and they meet girls and they do the university thing, and everything sort of settled down. We got back together after a mutual friend was murdered, and that sort of just sparked us just to get back together and sort of honour him a little bit. And it was just a 5-year recording basically, and this is what we've narrowed it down to and what we've produced, and we're pretty happy with the product.
Yeah, so 5-year recording, man. So working on it for the last 5 years, dude. Yeah. The recording process, the writing process, everything was roughly about 5 years.
Yeah.
So the other members, man, can we give them a shout out?
Yeah, we've got Neilson on the drums, we've got Steve Baker on the bass, and Shay on the lead and vocals.
Yeah, man, it's a killer sound as well, dude. So I want to ask first, man, we'll dive into that a little bit, man, but I want to ask how you first got into guitars, man, because you're saying around high school you all started playing together and that. So can you tell us a little bit about the story, how you picked up guitar?
Mate, I've always been a big fan of heavy metal through some family influences, and me and Shay, as I said, were buds through high school and primary school, and he'd always sort of been in guitar since he was a young fella. And I picked it up about when I was 13, just through going around to his house and seeing he had a BC Rich Warlock, and that thing just looked mean, and, you know, into the heavy metal sort of thing. You just kind of just enticed me. You've seen it there just taunting me, and I just wanted to play. So it just inspired me to pick up the guitar around that age, and never looked back.
Did you take any formal training, or you just self-taught, or?
Mate, I jumped on to a local guy in the area who basically taught me the basics, you know, your shapes and stuff like that for guitar. And then it was just a matter of printing tabs out and just spending hours and hours at home every waking minute playing guitar when I was a young fella, yeah.
No shit. What, do you remember what your first guitar was?
It was a Fender Squire that I had for a little while. That was what I learnt to play on.
Yep.
And then my first guitar that I actually purchased was an Ibanez RG6.
Yeah, nice. And what are you using now, dude?
Mate, I run the Ibanez VBT 700s. They're the old lawsuit, the V-shaped lawsuits. So I just love that, you know, they're through neck, they're maple body, they've got all the bits and pieces that you want at a reasonable price. And I haven't found a guitar that I like better. So I've been jumping online and keeping an eye out for them, and I've got about 4 of them now, and plus a few other different sort of guitars, but they're the ones I keep an eye on. I love their sound. I love the way they feel when you're playing them. That's what I run to.
Yep. Can you tell me a little bit about the recording and production process? Because I know you're kind of working on it for 5 years, man, but can you elaborate a little bit more on when you got in the studio and what the whole process was like, who you've worked with and things like that?
Yeah, so we'd been writing for a little while, and then once we'd had enough material, we jumped into the recording process and narrowed it down from there, basically. So from a dozen odd songs, we've narrowed it down to what we've put out on the EP, just to try and put our best foot forward and put the best product that we could out, rather than just putting out stuff because it was written, sort of thing. So yeah, from that big recording process and having all the songs that we were kind of happy with, and then hearing them during the recording process, you learn a lot about the song when you're hearing it back so many times, and we just culled it basically if it wasn't perfect, or what we considered perfect, and got it down to what we put out, and hope everyone's happy with it, because we are.
Yeah, man, I'm enjoying the heck out of it, dude. It's got some strong melodic vibes to it, but then it's got the groove and, you know, the track like Darkness Follower, dude. I was like rocking out to that, both eyes open, man. I had that like cranking all morning this morning before I jumped on to listen to have a chat with you. Dude. I was really getting into it, man. And I got sent a copy, and I jumped over it, and I usually do. I always support the scene as well. You know, I grabbed the digital copy as well, dude. Are you pressing
awesome, mate. Appreciate it.
At all?
We've got a few ready to go, mate. We can send you one.
Yeah, dude. I also want to put out a couple of links as well so people can grab some CDs as well, man, because that's some killer little artwork on there as well with the sheep on there, man. I love that, dude. And you got the one sheep there with the red coat, man, and it just kind of sits well with the writing with the Chaosaint logo there, and then with that red sheep, man. Something strikes a chord with that artwork, dude, man.
Yep. No, I don't know if you're too familiar with Schindler's List and the message. Yeah, well, that was where that was kind of inspired from, the whole sheep herding thing, and the whole message basically about just, you know, doing your own thing, being individual, and not conforming to what society. Yeah, just be yourself, stay in your own lane, kind of thing. That's where the message comes from, and I appreciate everybody that's it's responded well to the music and the artworks, and there's a lot of work that goes into all that sort of stuff, which I'm sure you know about.
Yeah, and it comes through really well in the lyrics. That message that you've just described there with your artwork comes through in a lot of your songs as well. That exact message that you're saying, man, there's a powerful message to these songs, man. Really cool, really cool. I can't recommend it enough for people to get there, crank this EP out, listen to it track by track, man. And as I've said a few times, man, the thing is when I do this, man, I get a new EP, dude, and I've got to listen to it about 5 or 6 times, dude, in a row before it actually sinks in and settles into me, dude.
Yep.
And you pick up.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, man, you pick up all these other little fucking nuances and shit like that as well. So.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so many things. Like when you first listen to it, you get the initial vibe, but the more you listen to it, you pick up, you know, all those little background things that you may have missed. And we did put a lot of time and effort, and Shay in particular. That dude's a genius on the programs, and he put a lot of hours into the production, basically, of the CD, of the EP. And you know, my hat goes off to him. He's done really well. And we actually didn't, to answer your question that probably be about to come up about the recording process and all that Shay basically did all of the editing and the production of it, and we sent it off for a third-party mastering. But all that polishing and everything really goes off to him, mate. He did an awesome job, and I'm so proud to say we did basically everything.
Yeah, and it's come out really bloody well, dude. I'm wondering, dude, like, because things are fucking. This has got to get asked, man, about the live side of things, man. Have you heard anything about playing live? Because I'm sure all you guys are ready and raring like a heap of Newcastle bands, man. There's so many great Newcastle bands, dude. These are probably all raring to, you know, get on stage and kind of, especially play this new EP in the name of.
Mate, 100%. Where all the boys are itching just to get back out there and run amok and you know, send that message that we're trying to deliver live, and bring that whole theatric to it, not just sort of people sitting back at home listening to it, you know, on their headphones or whatever it may be. We really want to, you know, take it to that next level and deliver it how we want it to be delivered through the live show. So we're really keen to get out there, but, you know, to state the obvious, COVID's put a big stop to all that.
Yeah.
So,
which makes
we'll see what the future holds.
It makes it more important, you know, for like what you're saying, you know, to people to, you know, just kind of mention that you check it out or whatever. But it makes it important for people to head over and support the scene as well, dude. I'm a big one. I'll bring this up every time, especially for guys like yourself that you worked for 5 years, man, busting out this EP. You know, and it deserves to be listened to and played and not just liked. You know, it's good to check out a band on Spotify. I harp on this, like I do it, man. I always check out a band. I like it, dude, though. I support it, man. I'll get over it. I'll buy fucking merch, buy shirts, buy the CDs, because there's nothing like it, especially with bands out of the underground scene like Chaosaint. You know, it's great to have those likes and follows on Spotify, but that should transcribed to sales as well on the album. And it's, you know, because you guys plug all your own money in it, not to mention the amount of hours, like, you know, you guys are working on this album.
100%, mate. And it's people like you, and I'm the same, and I know the other boys are the same. We really appreciate the live music, and whether it be signed bands or up-and-coming underground bands, to get behind them and support them in the industry that it is now really means a lot to push us forward and, you know, make it to that next level where we're trying to achieve. And, you know, without people like us, I think the music industry would really suffer.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a big thing when I go to shows, and people don't realise from the underground scene, you play a live show, but it's not just playing the show. You're there at the merch stand, and that's probably your main time you're selling merch. You got all these punters there watching you on stage, and they actually see what you're providing, the goods on live, and they walk over to your merch stand and they'll have a chat with the band, you know, and buy some merch, buy a shirt, buy a CD, and you can't, you know, as much as you try and recreate this with the live streaming and, you know, whatever else, you can't get that atmosphere that you can get at a live show, and that opportunity to sell, you know, your CDs and your merch and things like that.
It's a different vibe, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, dude. And I'm seeing all these live streaming concerts pop up, and they're great for everyone to check out the music, but I really want that to turn over to some sales for the bands as well. Not saying the bands, they don't do this for the money. Like guys like yourself didn't spend 5 years working on this EP, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hours of blisters no doubt on your fingers from the guitar and whatever else, man. And you didn't do that for the money. You love it. You're going to do it regardless, but it also helps that you're getting people and the support, because it fires you up and you go, fuck, okay, let's get this next one out. Let's keep working, dude.
It does. Yeah, you inspire yourself when you hear your music back, and which is a great thing. We're our biggest critics. But when you get the people sort of getting behind you and you get that positive feedback, like the inspiration just keeps continuing. And that's where we're at now with, you know, writing some more material. We had some of those songs that didn't quite make it to this EP that are so close. And some of them are epic, but they just lacked in certain areas. And we're running back through, fixing a few of those up that are in the vault, and putting them on the next one, plus some new material. And that's all come from the back of the inspiration. Like if this had been a flop and people didn't receive it well, we just would kind of, you know, gone, oh, well, we did what we did, and probably kick the feet up and just, you know, enjoy music for what it is in the garage or something like that. But to get this feedback's really driving us on to get this, you know, the next CD, the next album, next EP, whatever it may be out. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, it's a ripping EP, man. It is a ripping EP, and I'm going to say this probably another half a dozen times before we sign out, dude.
Mate, keep it coming.
But, you know, it would have been good to have this time, you know, to probably, because it's a crazy time with this COVID, man. It is so weird, dude, 2020, but I suppose you've had a lot of time to kind of work and create, and with a view like that, it's hard to probably get down about it all, and you can probably still get in there and create some good riffs and music.
Taking some good wins from it, you know, 3 weeks on the Triple J Metal, top of the chart sort of thing. We're number one for 3 weeks, 10 overall. So, you know, that feedback and interviews with you guys and some of the magazines from over in the UK and America and all that stuff, the social media stuff, it's amazing, man. It really does inspire you to keep going and drive you more. And like you said, it's not about the money. It's minimum wage. Even if you had made a couple $100,000 from it, it's minimum wage compared to the money and the hours we would have put into it.
Yeah.
Over 5 years, it's not about the money. It's really just about
getting the music out.
I guess getting the music out and feeling that pride, mate. And you know, 100%. I can't even put into words how it makes you feel.
Well,
it's awesome.
It's art, and you know, like you look at the great artists of old. You know, they never sat there to paint to make money. You know, and musicians are artists. That's why you are in the arts sector, and it's especially more important now for people to realise that musicians are artists, dude. And this is what they do, dude. You know, you're bringing out music as part of your soul. And that's your way of creating and providing to the universe, man, with these fucking killer metal beats.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And we hope that the next one does just as well, if not better. And hope we get more and more of this feedback, man. We love it.
Yeah, I dare say it will, man. It's a strong, strong debut EP to come out on, and it can only grow, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, you
Yeah,
get the support behind you, and like you're saying, man, this is going well. You're doing all right in the UK. You, like you said, you had some interest from the US. It's good that the metal scene. That's what I find. It's easier for the Australian bands to kind of reach the international audience, because we all battle. There's so many quality Aussie bands here, man. It's probably easier to fucking reach overseas sometimes than it is here, man.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's a catch-22. A lot of people say, you know, social media and the internet and everything sort of really killed music, which it kind of has, I guess, if you're talking about piracy and things like that. But at the same time, it gives bands like us the opportunity to really put our reach out beyond what it would have been 10, 15 years ago to reach overseas. And you can do your own marketing fairly easily, but you do have to stand out above the crowd, and that's what's impressed us the most, that, you know, we've put our best foot forward and people have received it, and we're getting the attention that we wanted. So
you deserve.
Yeah, it's a good and a bad thing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man, it is a good and a bad thing. Social media has been really good for, that's why I bring up the support thing. It is good for social media and have all these people checking you out, and it's great for that to follow on to support as well with albums and things like that too, man. So I want to ask, man, have you got a favourite track on the album, one that stands out most to you or hits close, you know, hits you in the feels the most, man, like off the EP?
Depending on what mood, you know, you can listen to them all in different times, but mate, I love the energy of Knives Are Drawn at the moment. That's my go-to recently. So that's just the energy, the riffs, the drive of the drums. Yeah, it's sort of, that gets me racing. So
yeah, man, that's the one we'll sign out on, dude, I reckon. So as we
Beautiful,
do, man,
bro.
last word, shout outs, thank yous, man.
Mate, just to everybody that's shown support, everybody that's jumped online and streamed it, downloaded it, bought the merch, whatever it may be, mate. I can't thank everybody enough for the support and attention we've been getting. And obviously, I'd really like to put my big thanks out to Shay, our singer. He's really gone above and beyond the production, mate. And he's produced something that's professional quality, as far as I'm concerned. And you know, a little bit of an in-house shout out to him.
Yeah, it's a ripping EP, and I can't recommend it enough. Johnny Cribb, thank you very much. Everyone, get out there, check out Chaosaint. Grab the name of the EP, man. It's a killer fucking EP. Crank that loud, because as I always say, the neighbours want to hear it as well. So
they love it.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Johnny Cribb, massive shout out. Thank you very much, bro.
Cheers.